Today, Kaylee and I are in Escalante, Utah, and we are hiking down to Jacob Hamblin Arch. For those of you who don't know us, I'm David.
I'm Kaylee.
And we run a travel and adventure vlog called Made to Explore.
We are passionate about activities that get you outside and off the beaten path. We've got a ton of hiking, adventure travel, and van life. So if you are into that, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. We would love to have you around for all of our future videos.
The road into Grande Escalante is called Hole in the Rock, and it is not very well maintained. But once you get to the road, that will bring you to the water tank. It is crazy washboarded. So Kaylee and I decided to camp about maybe a quarter way in, hop on the e-bikes, and e-bike the rest of the way in, which still very bumpy, but a lot better than bumping along in a camper van. We wanted to do this hike last year, but didn't get the chance to do it because we didn't have any rope. So this year we came back much more prepared.
We started at the Water Tanks Trailhead in Grand Staircase-Escalante, and you are required to sign in as a day hiker or register for a free backcountry permit if you're staying the night. You can do this right at the trailhead.
We are hiking via the sneaker route. There's a few different ways to hike this. You can also start at Hurricane Wash and walk all the way down Coyote Gulch to this spot, but this is a bit of a shorter route. We are just doing it for the day. If you want to do it overnight, that would be awesome. We couldn't do that because we have Bailey and dogs aren't allowed in Coyote Gulch, unfortunately. From the water tank to where you rappel down is about 3 kilometers. So once you get down, I think it's a kilometer or so to the arch, not far at all. So in total, round trip, it's gonna be around 8 kilometers, I think. And it seems to be a beautiful day for it. So pretty excited to get down there and check out the gulch.
If you are planning a trip to Utah, we have a travel guide for adventure lovers that covers all of our favorite places in this beautiful state. This guide details everything you need to know about traveling through Utah, including the best hikes, natural hot springs, activities, photo spots, where to stay, the best way to get around, and super helpful tips on wild camping and finding amenities for van lifers. Covering all 5 national parks in detail, plus a ton of hidden gems outside of the parks, let us do all the research so that all you have to worry about is enjoying your trip. This guide is an instant download and we cannot wait to share it with you. We have already got so much great feedback on it. We will link it below. Make sure to check it out.
The best times to do this hike, I think, are early in the spring and in the fall when it's cooler, because it can get super hot out here and you need to make sure you bring enough water for the hike so you can stay hydrated. If we are camping overnight, we would definitely bring our filtration system too, because luckily there's water down in the gulch. Trail's a little difficult to follow sometimes, so.
Yeah, an offline map here is very essential because the trail has been splitting. There's like 2 trails and there's 3 trails. Now it looks like there's no trails, so you definitely want to know where you're going.
You're probably wondering whether there is service on this hike, and we have had one bar for most of the beginning. I'm assuming once we start to dip down into Coyote Gulch, no more service. With that said, we do carry a Garmin inReach just in case something happens. So I would highly recommend doing that as well, especially out here in the middle of nowhere. Whoever set up the little rock piles, the Nook Shook things, thank you. Been super helpful.
Very helpful.
So the first bit is pretty sandy. Last bit's extremely rocky, but we're making it. We're almost there. We can see the gulch right along there.
And now it's time to attach our rope. When we arrived, there was already 2 ropes attached, but it's important to have one with you and attach it so that you don't get stranded down in the gulch.
First one down, next one to go.
Whoop whoop. Definitely need a rope. Like some people were saying, oh, you might not need a rope. 100% do not do a split rope.
I think our rope was 230 feet, if I'm correct. If I'm not, I'll put it up on the screen right now. But ours is like dangling. There's like 2 sections. The first is really big. The last section is a little bit smaller that we're coming down right now. And ours is just like dangling down there. So it wasn't able to go like all the way down, obviously. We made it down into the gulch. This Coyote Gulch is insane. The scale is wild. Just got back from the hike, and this is without a doubt one of the best hikes in Utah. Definitely do it if you're coming down here. We didn't record anything on the way back because it was crazy windy and it would have been really hard to pick up on the camera, so we just kind of boogied back.
Yeah, but we were dreading it because we were like, oh, we're going downhill the whole way here, the way back is going to be crappy. And it really wasn't that bad. Pretty easy to follow all of the rock paths as well.
For sure. If you want to plan for a multi-day and explore more of Coyote Gulch, highly recommend that. We wish we could have done that.
Yeah, if we didn't have Bailey, we definitely would have done that. Something else to keep in mind is like we're able to leave Bailey in the van because we can block her off in the back. We have shades, we have fans, and it stays pretty cool. But we would not recommend leaving a dog in a regular vehicle.
Definitely not.
Even if it's like 15 degrees out, just the sun here gets so hot, it's just not worth it.
You don't need 4x4 to get to the water tank trailhead, but once you turn off the hole in the rock road, that has got to be one of the most washboarded roads we've driven on. That's why we decided to e-bike it. So take your time. Also on this hike, when you're going down into Coyote Gulch, take your time. It can get pretty busy with people, I think, but watch your step. It's nothing crazy, but it is high. So if you want to check out our guide to Utah, it covers everything from hiking to camping to accommodation. Check it out in the link below.
Yeah, you do not want to miss it. We spent months looking into this, and we've spent about 2 months exploring this beautiful state. So definitely can't wait to share everything that we found out and did with you.
If you found this video useful, be sure to like it, subscribe to the channel, and share it. We'd love to have you around.
We will see you next week.
See you in the next one.